So welcome back everyone. Today I want to cover how it's been quite difficult to find companies that are on sale. And so I have my dividend portfolio on the screen. We can see an increase of slightly over 22%. And let's take a look on a per sector basis. So we can see in the financial sector here, there's an increase of 54%. Bonds are the only category here that are negative, so let's just skip that. And we've got technology at 12%, ETFs at 11%, energy and consumer at 11% and 13% respectively, and then real estate at 24%. Now, of course, this is just how my portfolio is performing, but there's a lot of green on the screen. If we look at individual investments as well, there's a few here in the red, but look at Bank of America, a 52% increase, British Land Company, 49%. We also have Citigroup, and a few months ago I spoke about how Citigroup was undervalued as a company, and now it's priced in, so currently at $72 a share, and we're pushing to those record high prices that we previously saw. And so with all these increases on a company level and then on a per sector basis, it's sometimes hard to put the money into an area that, for instance, financial increasing at 54%, because you have the fear that perhaps this is going to come down in the future. And then when you look at other industries as well, let's take the NFTs for instance. So a few months back we had one of the most expensive auctions sold, and it was an NFT that reached over $60 million. And so for anyone unaware, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They utilize the blockchain, and the one sector that has really been taken over is in the form of artwork. So when you list the product as a digital form, the owner is able to verify that they are indeed the sole owner of that digital art form. And so it's taken an old industry and utilizing technology to have a digital footprint on who the actual owner is. And then we have Bitcoin, which is currently at a price of $61,000. Let's just look back a year prior, and we had a price range of around $8,000 to $9,000. And so that's almost an increase of 7 times within the space of a year. Let's take a look at another sector. We have the housing market. And so there was a report by Google in terms of the number of search terms, when is the housing market going to crash? That spiked 2,450% in the last month alone. During the same period, we had 42% of the homes that were on sale, which were selling for more than their list price. And taking those 42% of homes, if you compare to the previous year, they were 16% higher than the price they were running previously. So there's a lot of reporting across all different sectors, effectively on whether we're in a bubble or not. We're seeing it within the stock market, and we're seeing it with all investments as well, such as Bitcoin. Now I had a check on Google Trends as well for the term stock market crash. We can see that there was a peak from around February to March. This is just within the UK, and that search trend has decreased recently, but two of the peaks here. So we've got from February the 28th to March the 6th, and then another from January 24th to the 30th. Those were peaking on a scale of 0 to 100, and those were both very close to or actually hitting 100. And even now with the lower levels, we're still at this 25 mark here. And so there's people out there who are concerned if there's going to be a stock market crash. And the reason for that is because a lot of these prices are at high values. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are companies out here that I am actually avoiding just because I have a higher profit value and the return on investment isn't as big. At the same time, anyone who is investing, they shouldn't be worried if they're putting a large amount of money into any company that they really believe in. So take Citigroup. I think out of the banking companies, Citigroup is a very solid company. I'm not going to worry about these top line headlines that reference whether there's going to be a stock market crash, because from 10 to 15 years from now, ideally all of these companies that we've filtered out and we've decided should be added to our portfolio, there's a high probability that those are just going to increase as we go forwards. It's the same with the likes of Bitcoin as well. If you believe in the concept, there may be some corrections in the near future, but 10 to 15 years from now, it's probably going to be very hard to buy one Bitcoin at anywhere near $61,000. And so anyone watching, don't be discouraged by some of these scary headlines. For sure, it's harder to hunt for some of these companies that are on sale. It's become even harder in the last 4 months or so. But the last thing I want to see other people doing is pulling money out of the stock market, because that truly is the only way you can increase your net worth as the years progress. And when I think about people that get, say, a pay increase if they're fortunate to do so. Even when you consider all the taxes that you have to pay on that money, the net amount of income that you actually receive after you remove all the taxation ends up being substantially smaller than what you initially think it will be prior to any taxation taken. And I think for anyone that invests in the stock market, we are really fortunate, especially in the UK with the tax-free ISA. Any of these increases, and so on my account for instance, this 22% increase is pure profit. I don't have to pay any taxation on that. And so even if the stock market is more expensive than it was last year, and we may see in the future the stock market dip some more, but in the long run we're going to see how the stock market will continue to increase. Already the amount of money that's gone into the stock market is because there's younger and younger people that are investing. And so the 18-year-olds that are out there that have their money invested, if they're in it for the long term, and then when they want to retire at say 60 to 70 or even earlier, all that money invested into the stock market is going to help grow companies, and that's just going to increase the return. So for sure some of these companies are trading at higher multiples than the amount of money they're making currently. And of course, as the years go by, we are going to see pullbacks, but as long as you're investing, then you are definitely on the right track. Now I provide new videos every week, so hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If anyone's interested in seeing future videos, then definitely subscribe and share these videos out with any of your friends that may be interested in investing. So thanks for watching everyone, and with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.